Levi here, the Outdoor Cowboy, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working on and exploring my off-grid cabin, clearing the road after a hard winter, and eating some delicious food. So saddle up for the ride. We are pretty close to the cabin, but I was just driving past this pond right here and heard a bunch of frogs ribbiting, so let's check it out. There's a bunch of frogs I can see that are in here, some grown ones, and then just as I'm walking there's some little ones that keep jumping off this hill right here with this stream coming down. Just was walking along the shore, and right here is one of their nests. If you can see, that whole area is kind of like a big glob of jelly, and then the little black dots inside are all little eggs that'll soon become tadpoles. Just caught one of them right by that nest that I was showing earlier. Really pretty frog. This is kind of a lighter coloration of them. If he'll stay in my hand. These are Colombian spotted frogs. They can be found anywhere from Utah to Alaska in the Northwest, and they're great snacks. Just kidding. But pretty cool, these nests. This nest that I showed, it's pretty big. It's the biggest one. There's a bunch of small ones kind of throughout, but these frogs can lay up to 1,000 eggs at one time when they lay. And then when they lay them, they're super small, and then they kind of absorb water, which is kind of why they look like jello almost. And they can get up to like the size of like a softball, which is pretty crazy. So pretty cool, super pretty frog, and glad to see this pond is just thriving with a bunch of frogs. So pretty awesome. We'll hop back in the car and get driving, but there's a bunch of trees and snow that's fallen. So we'll see how far we can get in with the truck, and then we will hike the rest of the way. So we'll see what happens. Well, we didn't make it very far past where we stopped for the pond. There are a bunch of trees down and then some deep snow up there. So we're gonna hike probably a mile and a half into the cabin. We're gonna pack up, park her here, and we'll get hiking. We're now a little more off the main road, just hiking up, and it's kind of crazy. This whole path is where we have to walk right up there, and since it's all shaded from the sun, it's just super deep. So looks like we're gonna be trudging through 4 or 5 feet of snow. Obviously it's not all snowy. The parts that are in the sun are drying, and it's about 50 degrees right now, so it's nice and warm, but makes the snow soft so we sink in. Made it through quite a bit of snow and just crossing a stream, so I'm going to fill up my water bottle. Since I don't know how clean this stream is, I'm going to filter my water, which I have these sweet Grail GeoPress, I guess. I'll put a link down in the description. I've loved them, used it a bunch of different times. I'll put a link down in the description for them, but they've worked super well for me. Super light when they're empty, and filter really well. So these have a little fill line with how high you fill it up. Then you just grab this guy, unscrew it, stick it in there, and then push down. And as you push down, it pushes water through the filter into the inside container where you'll have filtered water. So this water down here is pretty murky and has quite a bit of foos gold in it. Actually, it's pretty sparkly. Now I got some nice cold filtered water. Just hiking on the trail, and notice we've got some elk tracks here. Pretty sweet. I can't necessarily tell if they're a male or a female. Males will oftentimes have what's called dew claws, which are things that'll stick into the ground in the back just like that when their kind of weight presses down. So not really sure. This one's pretty big. Looks like we got maybe 2 of them, 2 different sizes, but pretty sweet. Love to see it. There's a handful of trees that have kind of sagged over the road, so we're gonna have to clean those up. So a little bit later, we'll go make some lunch and then we'll come back and start working on clearing the road a little bit. So when the snow melts, we can drive in here. We're just about there. There she is. Oh, here she is. Kind of a mess right now because we were up here in the winter, but loft sleeping up there, and I gotta go turn the batteries on since it has solar, so we can get some lights in here. All right, we're all unpacked. Kind of tossed it all on the couch. Let's go start a fire and we'll get lunch cooking. Yes, we've got this that me and my dad built. We have a little outhouse up there, nice little fire pit, awning with a picnic table. So that's where we're at, and hopefully a lot of good projects here to come in the near future. Got this bag of fire starters I'm going to use. It's just cotton balls soaked in a little bit of Vaseline. Super easy to make, really effective, burn for a little while. We'll use those, and I'll make a video soon on how to make these because they're awesome. Work super great as long as they're dry. They can be great fire starters. And then I'll also be using this ferro rod to start it. I love these things. They just seem to work every single time. This one's cool. It has a wooden handle that you can actually use kind of as kindling, so you scrape some of that handle off. And then this rod, the actual ferro rod, is made of different kinds of precious metals. One of them is magnesium, and if you scrape some magnesium off, it burns 4 to 6 times hotter than fire just on wood. So it's super good, burns for a while, burns super bright, but that means it's working. Nothing too fancy for lunch today. Got some smoked bacon and cheddar to make like a hot dog. And then I've also wrapped up some Parmesan cheese in here that I'm gonna melt and pour over the dogs. So I'm gonna toss this right by the fire. I'll try to flip this cheese around because it sounds like it's bubbling. I don't know if you can hear that, but it smells good. Cheese is bubbling like crazy. I think it's cooked now, so we'll just set that aside and finish up the dogs. Alrighty, let's see what our cheese looks like. Oh yeah, if I can get it out. Got a little toasty, but that'll work. All right, there we go. It's hard to beat a bacon cheese dog and some freezing cold, freshly filtered water. The lunch of champions. Alright, now for the best dessert known to man. Now for one of my favorite desserts. So, we got these like cast iron clamshell things. They clamp together and close. Okay, you take one of these clamshells, clean it out, and then I've just got some butter nonstick spray. Spray that on both sides. And then I got some cinnamon swirl bread. That's the key ingredient. So, take 2 pieces of this. And then what you'll do is you kind of smash it into the clamshell and then start pressing down the middle so that it makes like a little bowl. Do that on both sides. Then the other key ingredient, easy 2 ingredient, some apple pie filling. Take your can opener, and then you got your clamshells, and just put a little bit. You don't need a ton. That might have been too much. We might have a disaster of exploding out the sides, but that's all right. Another thing is, inside you can also put like chocolate or Reese's cups or anything your heart desires. So just like that, and then close her up, and let's go put her in the fire. So for this, you'll definitely want the fire to be down to coals like this, so it's good that the fire's kind of running out a little. We'll just wait now. Then after about a minute or two, just give it a little flip. Not trying to cook anything too much. All right, I think we're about ready to pull her out. Go see what she looks like. All right, let's see what we got. She's toasty. And just like that, we got us a little pie. That's better than McDonald's. Well, that was delicious. We've got 2 water tanks. One right here, and then one up there by the bathroom. And we've had a problem sometimes with bears knocking the faucets off. And usually the faucet's close to the bottom, so all the water drains out. So I've got some adhesive, and we're going to try to put this guy back on and put a patch a hole in the other one. All right, we got it all kind of glued up and screwed on with a gasket maker, and now we'll just try to tape it. Should be able to dry during the day. It'll be warm enough, and then we'll be good. All right, now we're gonna fix this other one. Okay, we got those patched up pretty good. Might have to do a couple more kind of coats when it's dry, but for now that should be good. Both of these water tanks that we fixed today, both catch rainwater from gutters that runs off the roofs. So it fills up pretty good. We've always had quite a bit of water, except for when the faucets break. So then all the water leaks out, but pretty good way just to have an emergency storage water up here. And pretty soon my plan is to route some plumbing underground from here that goes down to the cabin, so we'll be able to use gravity to create like a faucet for us, or possibly have an outdoor shower. So, and I'm just gonna lock up kind of real quick here, and then we're gonna go start cutting down some trees and clearing the road. It looked to me like there was probably maybe 5 or 6 trees that need to be cleared. And so we will do that, and we'll just kind of cut them up and set them to the side. And then when we can drive the truck in, once all the snow melts, we'll pick them up as we go and bring them up here for firewood. Walking down the trail, I see some deer tracks as well, which is really cool. And they look pretty fresh. Maybe 2 or 3 of them, so pretty awesome. Got this saw that I love. It's pretty sweet. I'll put a link in bio for it though. It's been super awesome. You can just replace the blades, and it folds up like completely flat with the blade not out. So well, I think that'll do for now. That's most of them. So if we find any more down there when the snow melts or run into any more problems, we'll just cut them up as we drive up. Well, I think that'll be all for this video. Got some good projects done. Got to come check out the off-grid cabin after the winter. And we'll be back here soon to do more projects, but I'm going to pack up and get headed home. liked this video, make sure to check out the Outdoor Cowboy YouTube channel. We've got new videos every week, survival adventures, camping projects, tool restorations, and a whole bunch more. Hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.